Now, filters are another area that's kind of advanced, and what it'll do is, if you remember back in the beginning when we said that what happens is someone comes to your site, Google Analytics, a little bit of code takes information from the user, sends it to the Google server, and the Google server sends it to your analytic account. What that server does is it processes the information based on your filters. Now, these filters can be very complex or very simple. The reason I put a big triangle with an exclamation point here is because even in the most basic setups, several filters are necessary to get good information. For example, the first filter you should set up, and it should be set up from day one, is to exclude traffic from IP addresses. And what this means is every computer on the internet has a number to it that is like a phone number, defines that individual computer is unique. What happens is most people in your dealership, they keep your website up on their screen and they search for cars, or whatever they do during the course of the day. And that's not traffic we want to track. It really makes your analytics look really, really bad. We had another example where we went in and about 70% of the traffic to one of our customer sites was coming from their dealership. And it made their bounce rate look high. It made their time on site look low. So filtering out traffic from, let's say, your own dealership is important to getting a good picture as to what customers are doing on your site. For example, this says exclude MSA IP. We're on our customer sites a lot doing work on them. So what we do is we exclude my advertising agency's IP address too. So most of these customers, you'll see we exclude my traffic that comes from my office, and we exclude traffic to the sites that comes from the dealerships. And this way we have a real picture as to what customers are doing when they get to the site, and it doesn't skew the numbers. The other thing you can do is add users. You can add as many users as you'd like to your account, and each of these users has access, their own dashboard, their own report structure that they can use. So for example, you might give the owner and the general manager administrative access. And then you might give sales managers or an internet manager reader access or user access, so they can just read the reports. You can manage these. You can turn them on or off. You can delete the accounts. You can change the authority of the accounts. But this is a way to let multiple people into one analytic account without messing up any of your individual information. So if you go in and you build a dashboard that you really like, and you give your login to someone else in your company, and they log in and change your dashboard, well, the dashboard's changed for the both of you. If you give them each individual logins, each of you can have your own dashboard, your own setup, your own look, your own reports, without goofing up each other's work. Finally is emailing reports, and that's one important aspect of this is you can set Google Analytics up to email virtually any report. Anywhere you go in the system, in any of the reports, you'll see two buttons at the top, export or email. The email, if you click on the email button, it'll bring up a window that allows you to determine who you want to send it to, what you want the subject to be, what the description of the report is, what format you want the report to come in. You can actually have another tab and schedule these reports so that people can, for example, what we do is every Monday we have the prior week's analytic reports for every site we work on emailed to our office, and we review them. So we stay on top of these every week without having to log in, print a report, find a particular area that we like, print that report. So this will automate emailing reports, and you can share it with other people in your company. Another intermediate area of Google Analytics, and again, this is important and really makes a lot of sense to be used right from the beginning, is what's called URL tagging. Let me give you an example here. If you send out an email to 1,000 people in your database, and this person has Yahoo Mail, and this person has Yahoo Mail, and this person has Cox Mail, that email may come up as a number of different traffic sources in your traffic sources. So you may send out an email to 1,000 people and have 500 different traffic sources for that one email. What URL tagging allows you to do is actually code the links in your email so that when people arrive on your site, you tell Google Analytics exactly how you'd like it to show up in your analytics. I'm going to show you here. If you go to our site, you go to moreandScarry.com/URL builder. We have a little application that'll build those URLs for you. And I'll pull it up right here. Here it is. So what you do is, what this tool will do is, let's say you want to go to, I want you to go to moreandscarry.com, but I'm sending out an email through my service, which is iContact. I know this is an email. And this campaign name is webinar series. Well, I click this generate URL button, and this will create a URL that I can use as a link anywhere I want. And when someone comes to my site, I'll bring you back to here, they'll show up as iContact email, as opposed to 40 or 50 or 60 different webmail addresses. This is really important. What you could do is you could create a URL tag for your outbound email service. You can create a URL tag for banner ads that you have on different websites. You could create a URL tag for traffic that comes to your site from your blog. You could create URL tags for traffic that comes from your Twitter feed or from your Facebook account. So what this will allow you to do is really, when someone comes to your site and you're advertising, it'll allow you to identify that traffic in your analytics, so it makes sense to you. We get a little bit into some advanced analytics here, and we just have a couple things. And again, this is really we're going to just touch base on them. We're not going to dig into them, but they will show you solutions to some of the difficulties that you may face putting analytics on your site. The first one is, on the left here is a chart that shows the statistics of internet usage. In 2008, 77% of the people who purchased a car from a dealership, on average, went to the dealership's website prior to purchasing that car. 22% of the people who purchased a car from the dealership sent a lead in to the dealership site. So you can see that the vast majority of people who use your site and purchase a car from you do not send a lead. And that is a trend that is growing, meaning in the past 5 years, internet usage in the car buying process has gone up 11 points, while the lead submission process has gone up only 2 percentage points. So when you look at someone coming to your site, people who come to your site and look at cars and then call a phone number or show up at the dealership, that's the biggest percentage of your traffic. And what Google Analytics will let you do is, if you look over here on the right, is it'll let you set up goals based on engagement. So you can set a goal of a time on site greater than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and that'll show you how many visitors from a particular traffic source stay for that period of time on your site. You can look at pages per visit, and so what these engagement goals will let you do is really take a deeper look into how people are using your site. We always use the example that a lot of people in this business are called e-commerce directors, and quite frankly, there's no e-commerce that goes on in the automotive business. It's not like Amazon, where you get to Amazon.com, you find the book that you like, you buy it, and it's shipped to your house. Most people in the car buying process come to your site, look for inventory, look for a car, find that car, and then come into the dealership. And so using these engagement goals, Google just released them last October, really helps you get a better handle on which traffic sources are doing the best job for you.